Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You'll figure out this later. If you watch the whole episode, you'll see why there's weird editing going on. This week coming on in Geekverse Podcast is Marvel Week. We got a huge week coming up. First, actually, I don't know which one's first.
Marvel. I threw out a woo.
It's one or
I threw a big woo, and then it's like, wait, it should be the other way for
the
Marvel.
Big moo.
It's Mar.
So this week, I don't know the order of them, but we got a huge week coming up. We got our Marvel retrospective. Me, Dylan, and Taylor, we reviewed Captain America.
Nice.
The first Avenger, the very first one. So we took a look back on that. Oh. Some great discussion there. A very anticipated cast that we are very excited to release because we think it's pretty good. It's lots of fun. Our MCU fantasy draft for X-Men and Fox. Fox has owned them for so long. X-Men and Fantastic Four. We cast about like 6 of the X-Men. We cast some villains. We cast Fantastic Four. Kyle, Jessica, and Liam. They're deciding the winners. But please watch that. It's tons of fun. And then Black Panther review. We're doing a spoilers review. Please check that out. So Marvel Week is coming up. Also Gauntlet. You got Taylor and Jessica. They're going out and cooking Mama. Taylor, my new best friend. Kyle, next week you got a matchup with Kirkland to decide who's going to verse me for a sports title.
Oh.
You excited to lose that?
Nope. Because I'm not going to lose. I'm going to win.
Well, it doesn't matter because no matter what happens, no one's getting my sports title. But now we're going to throw it to past, present.
He's all about talk.
And I'm about to walk the walk. And we're about to hit you with a cool-ass podcast right now.
Kind of what I've gathered from this conversation.
Dead end.
I think so.
No, it's not a dead end. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dynamic Duo Podcast. Woo. Dynamic Duo Podcast. I'm the baddest bitch, Travis Snail.
Oh, I'm the slickety slick. I don't know why.
Where is that coming from?
I don't know.
I feel like you're sitting very far back, by the way. You don't have to move at all because the camera's very wide, but...
I'm going to do me. Kyle Smith.
Kyle Smith. So this is Dynamic Duo. We do this every once in a while. Mm-hmm. You have not done I say soul cast, but just you and me cast in quite a while.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, we literally,
I think, was the last one with Dylan?
No. No, I meant like just...
What?
I said we haven't done a podcast, just you and me.
I know, but the last time we did podcast,
Dynamic Duo was with Dylan.
Yeah.
But I meant like just a podcast with you and me.
I have no idea.
And then you're like, oh, with Dylan. That's not just you and me. It was just when we reviewed...
This was the last one with Dylan.
We reviewed Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, yeah.
You don't care, just moving on.
No, just moving on.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, so we did like a unrecorded impromptu like rant rave repeat just before this. We would have recorded it, but we used a lot of people's names, so
cannot record.
But one day we're gonna bring back rant rave repeat. It's gonna happen, and we'll strike names from the record. But look out for that. So what we're talking about today is comic book stuff. The reason I'm doing Dynamic Duo is one, I got Kyle, and then when he's here, it's hard to get a hold of him, so it's just better once he's in this chair.
I'm a busy man.
He is a busy man. And then two is because we legitimately, as far as Geekverse, we don't have newscasts coming up in a bit. Black Panthers next week, etc., etc. So I only have a few things to talk about today, and because they are bigger ones, I wanted to talk about them before they went into the interwebs, and the news cycle goes like this and this.
Yeah.
Here's a little spoiler. So I make the thumbnails and the headlines for these shows like, days in advance before we're about to, when I hear news is coming out. I did make the headline, and it's no spoiler because you're watching this episode, and the thumbnail, a Deadpool versus Venom, and the thing was, which trailer was better? I will preface this in saying, I did say that I made this thumbnail before I saw the Venom trailer. Now, if you like the Venom trailer, that's great. But I don't know if there's much of a competition there, but we're going to talk about those two trailers. We're going to talk about Jessica Jones. We're going to talk about Michael Bay directing a DC movie, and then some Joker news. What do you want to start with first as far as the two trailers? Because that's the main headline.
I would start with Jessica Jones.
I said the two trailers.
Oh, you mean...
Let's start
two trailers, you mean like the two topics?
Deadpool and Venom.
Oh, okay.
No. We'll start with Jessica Jones.
No. It's fine. We'll go back. You know what? I'm just in my own world right now. It's fine.
I want to start with Venom. Because you...
I haven't told you about Venom yet.
You haven't told... Yeah. Well, I saw a few year things, yeah. I want to ask you because you can check out our very last Dynamic Duo. We did a ranking of the 2018 comic book movies.
It's true. Most anticipated.
Yeah, most anticipated box office reviews. There were a couple times where you put Venom quite higher than we would have, Yeah. So you can go back and listen, but You had a lot more faith in the Venom movie than we did.
The reason why I ranked him higher.
Now he's going back. He's going back on his word.
I'm going back to my word. Was I was most anticipated because I didn't know what was gonna happen. Like what I'm most excited because who knows what's gonna happen in this movie. Now, if we redid that cast now, seeing the Venom trailer, I think she'd be a little on the lower side for sure.
I don't think it's a bad trailer. I think some people are freaking out that way. I think it's just...
I think it's missing kind of, not substance, but I guess motive? I don't really know.
I would say, as I always like to call in the business, a hook. I think any like plot or TV show or trailer has to give you a hook that when you watch it, the second it ends, you go, oh, I want to see that now because of X, Y, and Z, right?
Yeah.
Or it's just a great trailer. I think the trailer's fine. It's like a creepy, like, science, like, horror type of trailer. But, like, if you take out the V at the end with the cobwebs and Venom's eyes, like the logo, that could be a trailer for any...
movie, alien...
Any sci-fi movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Because this thing, do you think... And people are debating that. Do you think it's a bad trailer because we don't see Venom, or do you think it's just not a bad trailer? But what do you think? Do you think if you saw Venom, that would make the like the costume Venom, the symbiote, would that make it better, or is the trailer kind of overall like I don't know? Because people have been saying, oh, like for me, it's not even that we don't see the Venom thing. It's just that the trailer didn't leave me with anything to be like, oh, I'm excited to see this other than I'm curious, like we talked about. But
I think what the trailer is kind of missing is kind of the point of, not the point. I guess you saw the trailer, the spaceship crash or whatever that they were at, and like you saw the symbiote.
Or we assume it's a spaceship crash. We
see
see a lot of we see a lot in the trailer, just a lot of wreckage and like fire.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a spaceship.
It could also just be satellite. A sequel to the Passion of Christ, maybe. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Man, what a twist! That's why he's bugging out. Jesus.
I guess we did see a little bit more of the symbiote, but I wish I kind of seen a little bit more of maybe, when he's freaking out in the bed, is that symbiote actually like crawling on like over him and blocking him out.
Because it's just Tom Hardy shaking his head and being all
like,
crazy.
And I guess I get the whole like black veins or whatever, like his skin's getting paler and what they're trying to do, but I feel like if I saw the actual symbiote work around him, that would have been pretty sick.
Well, because the thing is, other than the few...
That would have been the hook.
That would have been your hook? Yeah. I think other than a few, like you obviously see like a car flip at some point. Other than that, it feels very almost like if we got together and made like a fan-made trailer of it, where it's like, if people go, oh, they got a lower budget, they can't use these effects, they can't like use certain things, this would be like an alright trailer, but it doesn't feel like it's a real trailer for the movie. It is, but it just feels like it's just a bunch of stuff stitched together. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of Tom Hardy's accent in the trailer. It's this weird kind of like Brooklyn one. He loves doing his accent, so maybe when I hear it in the movie, but
I don't even think it's a Brooklyn accent.
I don't know what
I don't think so. I don't even know what accent it is, to be honest, but it's definitely not Brooklyn.
Do you know the actor Terrence Howard?
You would have to say movie.
Right, your classic names. Yeah.
Or
I'm gonna skip past that point.
Yeah. But the fans.
He sounds like Terrence Howard.
Oh, okay.
He really does. That's what I'll get you to listen to him. Don't worry. But like, I think for me the biggest thing was, well, two things. One, I think they put this out now because Black Panther's out next week, and they can put this trailer in front of Black Panther, and then anybody that didn't,
don't even matter.
But anyone that didn't know it was coming out, they could see it. My mom would be like, what?
I hope this trailer is not before Black Panther.
Why not?
Because it just was pretty lackluster.
Why else would they release it a week before Black Panther?
Oh, I guess.
It's a superhero movie. It's a Marvel movie. Let's get that going.
But it doesn't. I guess when you watch the trailer, it doesn't feel like a superhero / Marvel movie.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I just feel like it just doesn't feel like a movie I want to see.
Yeah.
It just looks like a cool, I don't know, Netflix
Cloverfield.
Oh no.
Hey, which I like Cloverfield.
I'm on your bandwagon too. I know there's that solid 11% Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone else I talk to, Liam doesn't like it, Dylan doesn't like it.
Oh well.
But
11% on RT.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but you, me, and Taylor.
Perfect. We never really agree with Taylor.
Yeah, it's nice to agree with Taylor on some stuff. So there was that. So I think they put it out for that reason. But I think my biggest thing was that with the Venom, but with the Venom teaser, I think, remember when, before Logan was Logan, it was just like Wolverine 3, and the only thing we were excited for was, oh, it's Hugh Jackman's last time, it's great, let's hope it's a good movie. And then the Logan trailer happened, and that like changed everything, our anticipation, we couldn't wait for it. I wasn't expecting it to be that good, and I know it's just a teaser, but I think they could have, and some people have said, oh, maybe they're not done on effects. That's maybe they could have waited a little bit, I don't know, but I still think they needed a trailer or teaser like that, something to get everyone talking, something like, an example is, you probably aren't going to watch that much because you're not a big horror fan, but that New Mutants X-Men movie that's coming out that is like a horror-based sort of one. I'm not sure if you ever saw the teaser trailer.
I saw the teaser trailer.
Okay, because you usually avoid horror stuff. But
I think that's a little different, though.
It is, but I mean, like, I got a sense of what that movie was about, right? It's going to be about, like, these kids locked up in this place wherever. There's these powers, there's these weird things going on where this was just like, this just looks like could that also be a guy that's really high on cocaine. Like, he's running around. He's on
this attic this whole time.
Yeah.
He's trying to get out.
Yeah, it's just like a really deep metaphorical movie. But like, that's the I just think they needed, with New Mutants, I wasn't blown away like Logan, but I was like, oh, that's something different. Where this just felt like, it's kind of like, I've not seen this maybe in a superhero movie yet, but I've just seen it before. This feels like we could have saw this trailer like 2005. Like, it feels like really old.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. But yeah, I don't know. This trailer is just alright. Like, it's just meh.
These are good. Have you tried them yet?
No.
We're sponsored by... No, we're not sponsored by, but...
Yeah, we actually have to blur that out.
Yeah, somebody at work was saying that they had too much sugar.
Travis is drinking something.
Yeah, peach... The brand is just called Peach Tea. It's really good, but someone at work was saying, like, oh, it's too sugary, but I didn't care enough to argue them because I don't know them, so I just kept to myself. Deadpool 2, a trailer that I'm very excited about, but I'm going to give you the floor. What do you think about Deadpool 2?
I was blown away by this trailer. I think I'm a lot more excited for it than I was. Like, I was already pumped for Deadpool 2, don't get me wrong. The first trailer that came out, I thought it was just hilarious and really funny.
Yeah, I didn't love that one as much as everyone else.
Well, it makes sense.
Why does it make sense?
It's because there wasn't really much to it.
It's just him being funny.
It's just him being funny.
Which I know he
had nothing really to do with the movie.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, we have this character.
It's coming out. Deadpool 2.
Meanwhile, this was kind of like more like I was getting ready to watch the movie, the trailer, and getting you right into what you're gonna get into.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm pretty pumped. Just the way it started off, and then segued to a different direction, and then back to the main screen. And then just like, it's classic Deadpool, where he just calls himself out, and it was just amazing.
Calls a lot of people out. They called out Justice League. I'm not sure if you caught that.
Yeah, the
with
mustache.
the whole, why didn't we finish the effects before we release this teaser? Like, 1 second. My favorite part, honestly, is like it's weird because people would say, oh, you didn't like that first teaser, because this is my favorite part. But I love in the middle when he breaks down with the toys and his cable, and he's acting like Woody and Buzz and everything. But that's why I like that, because the first teaser, it's really funny and it's good, but that to me does not feel like a teaser for the movie. It's just Deadpool being funny. It's just like an announcement, like, hey, we're making, like, this movie's coming out.
Yeah,
right?
We're making a Deadpool 2.
Yeah. Like, for me, I like the mix of, okay, the toy stuff, that's your classic, like, oh, it's just him having fun. But then seeing stuff like, they even set stuff up about, like, Cable talking about how, like, he's this, like, wounded soldier and he travels time. I don't know how much that is going to have to do with the actual story of the movie, but my favorite thing about this trailer is it got me 10 times more excited. I was already excited for Deadpool 2, but something about it, I just loved it. I loved right away that they're already doing this very, like, you know, kind of buddy cop sort of thing, but it seemed much more violent. Like, when they pull the guns, and of course Blind Ally pulls the gun on Deadpool. Like, but it's like, there's this, like, kind of, like dick measuring contest kind of going on. Deadpool would do that, and it's going to be cool to see him maybe eventually, you know, hopefully they'll become a weird best friend sort of thing. But what I liked was they showed a lot of stuff that was characters and maybe some moments and callbacks to the first film, but then with Cable and some new characters of all new stuff, and it looked like it's blending very well. I'm very excited for it. I'm caught off guard that Terry Crews is in this movie now, but I'm really excited because, like, man,
they could do a lot with that.
Oh yeah, like I don't know what's going on. Like, right now, there's a rumor right now that one of the other people in the ship too is Bill Skarsgård. You don't know him, but he played he played the clown. He played Pennywise, but like. So it's like...
Sorry.
Well, Kyle hates clowns. I'm still saying that I want you to do a commentary track on that movie one day. Maybe one time. But they're showing signs like he's going to eventually have a team, which is the X-Force. They're going to be put together, everything like that. So, I don't know. I just really liked it. I thought the pacing of it was good. It's a movie that like I'm not worried about not liking it at all. Like, I think I'm just going to have such a good time with it. I think it's going to be... It's going to be similar to the first one, but I think it's going to be completely different at the same time. I don't know. I think it's going to have the exact same tone and vibe, but the story looks quite different. I don't know how big we're going to get, because the first movie was just, hey, I got to get my girlfriend back. So I don't know, is it a simple story again, or is it they're literally time traveling and doing stuff? I don't know.
I think it would probably be, I guess, simple with a little bit of complexity.
Yeah.
Inside of it, just to make it a little bit more intriguing and different, and really set up for whatever next they do.
Well, I think whatever next they do is going to be like,
or they're just going to like thing. That next step up from, hey, we have a simple movie, like now we're going to move that next step up for this movie. Kind of, I don't know. I'm not going to say step up again.
Raise the stakes. Or something?
Raise the stakes. That's a perfect word. No, I'm pumped.
That's multiple words.
Perfect words. I'm pumped.
Yeah, and that comes out 2 weeks after Infinity War.
That's big.
Yeah, and then a week after that is Solo. But you like that trailer. This is not the Cantina conversation, but you like that trailer. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah, I like the Han Solo trailer.
Why?
I thought it was... just because it was different.
What was different about it?
Well, I guess it was just like him like growing up and it's kind of... Oh, now I'm really thinking about it more than just...
I'm not trying to be those person that make you hate it. I'm just trying to understand why, because I wasn't a big fan.
I know. I thought it was fun. I thought the graphics were kind of cool. I was a little confused. I talked to another buddy of mine about the kind of the timeline of how that works with the Empire, and if it was like after I can't remember
Not the Force Awakens. After Force Awakens, he's dead.
The fourth one.
A New Hope.
Oh, sorry.
The
prequels.
Oh yeah, it's after 3, Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
After Revenge of the Sith, and then it was just like right away. But like, do you still have the? That's why I was confused. Like, do you just go back to more of the Clone War style costumes? But then also they just flip straight into the like the New Hope.
Well, because the prequels never happened. You know,
I guess so. The prequels didn't.
They happen, but they're not making movies about them now.
So I guess that's the only complaint I had. I was a little confused with the timeline, but my friend assured me that it was just around the same time where that was all happening, where Darth Vader was really taking over. So I'll give him that.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. It looks kind of interesting. I'm really pumped for Donald Glover.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he looks really cool, and kind of to see him. Hopefully, he has to play like a different role than just being that insecure.
Yeah, because you were worried that he's like an awkward
and
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is like completely different, so I'm really interested to see what he does with this role.
If you could only see not one, take out Infinity War. If you had to pick between Deadpool and Han Solo, what are you picking?
Probably Deadpool.
Yeah, me too. But I'm gonna see Han Solo.
I'll
be there over midnight.
Oh, for sure. Like still Star Wars. It's still got my heart and my money.
It's gonna be like Rogue One. And I'm like, it's alright. It's the best Star Wars movie ever. And then also, you gotta shout, you have to listen to the Black Panther album.
I still have not listened to it.
Well, it just came out today, so it's fine.
Fair.
Yeah, but like, that's my mini review. It's fantastic. My favorite tracks. I love X. I love Paramedic, and All the Stars. It's fantastic. It's great. Listen to it. It's legit. They're swearing. They're saying all this shit.
I think he dropped some singles on Spotify.
Oh, but he hasn't dropped the album.
I think the album did drop.
Okay.
But just some of the singles on there.
The whole album, very good. But there's my mini.
Is it like King's Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's definitely dropped a few songs on Spotify, and they were really good.
Have they dropped the whole album yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just haven't listened to the album.
I'm just bummed because Kyle always gives me shit that I use Apple Music instead of Spotify. But you know what? Apple Music is just as good, if not better. Because guess what? Who got Drake's album first day? Apple Music.
It's because they pay money for it.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know who's paying money? All those people that are watching Netflix. And you know why they watch Netflix? Maybe because Jessica Jones.
What a segue.
I've been pretty good at those lately, I think. Jessica Jones, season 2, coming out March. They still are saying it's a Thursday. That's bugging the fuck out of me. I don't know why the show's coming out on Thursday. But
because movies come out Thursdays, technically. Even though they say Fridays.
Yeah, technically. Fair enough. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this trailer?
Okay. So.
Oh.
I don't get me wrong. I really like the trailer is awesome, but here's the big but. It feels like I'm kind of going backwards with Jessica Jones. Like.
I see where you're going with it.
It's like they really made it out that she's trying to find who she was, and if she's this detective, wouldn't she have been trying doing that beforehand? And why is it just now that she's doing it? And I guess that's where I'm confused about.
I think story sense it's supposed to be that she didn't have the tools or information to find out. Like some stuff happened in her first season that I think Trish found something out, blah blah. But I think it's supposed to be like, oh, she couldn't have found out this information until now.
Let's hope it's that.
I think it's that. I think it's legitimately that.
It would have to be. Because I feel like we're just going backwards. And I would have almost... From someone who's never seen Jessica Jones, this would almost
You've seen Jessica Jones?
No, I've seen it, but like if someone
okay.
hasn't...
I'm like, have you just been lying to me?
Yeah.
Like for 3 years?
Only seen... I've just been watching YouTube clips.
Oh yeah, I love Kilgrave.
Yeah. Who's Kilgrave? Who's Trish?
Well, I think the
reason why I'm saying it feels like it's going backwards is because it's kind of like the intro of like you find out their background, where they come from, instead of just getting put into this situation, which is fine.
We're getting her origin story in the second season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels a little weird.
It does, but also feels like that was my worry, and it was still my worry, which we'll talk about him in a second, was after Kilgrave, spoilers for Jessica Jones, after they kill him off. I was like, well, where's the show going to go next? And I did worry, like, oh, is it never going to be as good? I think story-wise, I guess it's, other than her just being a private eye and, like, on fun or serious cases, I think that's probably the only next step you could go, right? Is to try and find out, like, Bourne Ultimatum style. Like, he's always... Jason Bourne never can stop looking in his fucking past, right? So,
true, yeah.
I think that'll be like this. I think not the only thing. I think that I liked the trailer too. I'm very excited. I'll be binging it that weekend it comes out. So
for sure.
And I loved the first season. Kirsten Ritter does a great job. I like the supporting cast in there. I did feel like that storyline of her being like, oh, how many of us are there out there? I feel like we're getting kind of close to Stranger Things, and with 11, and that just recently happened where she found out there's more of her, and I think the next season of Stranger Things is going to be her like looking for a virgin. So it's like, are we kind of doing that? I do like this idea that one of these like projects is going around killing people. I always like serial killers, and that gives her something to do as like a detective. It all looks good, and then at the end, with obviously they're insinuating Purple Man, aka Kilgrave. How do you think he's going to be incorporated into the season? Because they've announced he's coming back. They've not shown him yet, other than that end where you know it's him. He's clapping and it's purple, so you know it's him. How are they going to incorporate him?
I think he would have known what happened to her the whole time.
Okay.
And he just hasn't told her. And then as she's figuring out more things, she's starting to remember things that she didn't know before.
So you think he's flashbacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure I can't remember. Draw my memory. Because she kills him?
Oh yeah, he's dead. She
dead.
broke his neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be flashbacks.
You can always come back.
I guess so.
People, it's comic books. I think he's and I think probably other people would agree with this too. I think he might be like a Jiminy Cricket in her imagination sort of deal. Where she's looking into stuff and he's just...
like in that mind of like, kind of the devil on the shoulder.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
and then Luke Cage will be the really, really heavy angel.
Yeah.
Sweet Christmas. I think that's what's going to happen. I think all those could happen. I really hope that he does just come back alive because he is a good character. But I think that's my prediction. I think he's going to be like, the devil on her shoulder and like telling her all this and if I would have been alive, this wouldn't happen, and you know, we should still go on a date. You know. Yeah. Maybe sometimes you just gotta ask a girl on a date.
And I should clarify that I enjoyed Jessica Jones a lot. Like I thought it was phenomenal and it was amazing, and I can't say enough good things about it. It's just I feel like we're stepping backwards.
I don't think you had to clarify. I don't think you threw too much shade at it.
No?
I think you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know what? We're not...
Here we go. Here's this awful segue now.
You know what could be stepping backwards towards is good DC movies because Michael Bay might be directing a DC movie. Something had better. I painted myself in this corner where now when I have great transitions, and then if I don't, I don't. Lobo, you don't know this character. We talked about it with Liam a long time ago when this announced. He's kind of DC's Deadpool. He's a like space cowboy hitman. He has big dreads. He's big and bulky. He's like blue and white, and like he's an alien, and he's cursing. He sleeps with women, blah blah. Like I said, so he's there.
Yeah.
Lots of profanity. The rumor is right now that Michael Bay is going to be directing a movie for DC with this. What do you think about this? You're a huge fan of the Transformer movies.
I think this is just a Hail Mary.
A Hail Mary.
By DC.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I don't know. Like, Michael Bay movies are pretty mind-numbing, if that is a word.
Yeah, I guess so. Not in a good sense.
No, not in a good sense, where it's just like, you're like, I don't know, I just watched robots fight, and like, it was sick, and the graphics were sick, but at the same time, there was no real plot line, and it was just kind of just all over the place.
Because I was semi-joking when I said Kyle loved Transformers. Because you really...
I enjoyed Transformers up until
the fourth one.
The fourth
you fell
one?
asleep for the last hour. So the dinosaurs.
The dinosaur one, and then the CGI just went to shit, and it was just... Like,
did you see the last one? Or,
no.
Oh, so you're off the bandwagon.
I'm off the bandwagon now. Like, I am off. Like, don't get... Michael Bay's done amazing movies.
You really are preferencing yourself. Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong.
Like Michael Bay's watching these people.
I'm not hating on him,
Yeah.
and it's not like I'm just throwing shade against DC. But I feel like this is kind of a Hail Mary because Michael Bay pumps out those movies that make lots of money.
Yeah.
And this is the Hail Mary to just, hey, you know, we lost a lot of money. Maybe we can regain this back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Michael Bay is a talented director. I like a lot of his movies, surprisingly. I liked Armageddon back in the day. I liked The Rock. I really like... I'm a huge fan. I think people are mixed on it, but I'm a huge fan of Pain and Gain. I love Pain and Gain. The Rock, I think that might be his best role yet. Like
that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I think he can be... and Bad Boys, those movies are great.
Yeah. The old Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
No, I forgot what movie it was, but I remember now. I remember the poster. I remember, war movies. They all just blend together. No, and then he did Transformers, and then he kind of produced like a lot of those Ninja Turtle movies. And yeah, they haven't. I didn't even like the first Transformers movie. It's never been my cup of tea. Those movies seem super generic, super like boring, super just mad, like just all about action and fighting, which can have its place, but I don't need to see these robots and cars do it, and I know you probably had a soft spot because you like cars, so
that's true. You
got that. But yeah, you did put it a good way. I didn't think about that as far as the money perspective. I was looking at it more of like, okay, I guess that you're just going with him because he's a big name, and I was just looking at it like, oh, they're just going in the complete wrong direction as far as creatively, right? I just feel like right now when you're trying to save your universe and you're looking at it and you're like, what's like...
You got all your plays, and you're like, which play will get you that touchdown?
Yeah, like you have...
And it's like 45.
Well, you have a clipboard, you have all these things you could do to start rebuilding your cinematic universe, and I just think if you pull the card and it's like Michael Bay directed DC movie, I feel like that's one of those like, oh, these are one of the last plays, you know? This is one of these like, this is not going to go well. There's a chance he could surprise me and do this, but at the same time, I'd almost rather, like, I don't think he's going to make it rated R. Oh, Pain and Gain was really rated R, so maybe he would.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, where is it? Where do you see it?
Right.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm doing that because I'm going to watch that tonight. It's a good movie, so he could surprise me. It's just the what have you done for me lately, and it's just because those movies where he surprised me, other than Armageddon, which is like a space movie, like even Black Hawk Down, I wouldn't even count. Like I'd put that in the Pain and Gain thing, where the smaller movies like Bad Boys, about this movie Cops, those have been good. I just worry that yes, this is like a radar character, but this is a guy who like is in space, and it's a superhero, right? Like when I think of superhero Michael Bay movie, I think it's just going to be like Transformers. Yeah, that's exactly what I think. I don't think Pain and Gain. I don't think anything like that. Especially this guy, like he's a space hitman. Like I just see him having a fucking field day with that. And yeah, I really like Lobo, so it's this thing of I really like him. I'd like a younger director to get, but at the same time, he's not one of my all-time favorite characters. So if Michael Bay does this horrendous movie, I'm not gonna like. If they're like, oh, guess who's directing Batman? I would have been like, oh fuck. But what are you looking up?
Lobo.
I thought so. I've shown him a couple times. You'll look. You might need to put in Lobo with DC, but he has this huge dreads, big black stuff around his face and whatnot. But yeah, for me, it's not a character that I love absolutely. So I'm fine if they want to take a shot with it, but it's still for me like a red flag of I don't think we're going the right direction. We still need to figure this out. We still need to, I guess, flashpoint it in a way. And yeah, you found Lobo.
Yeah, I found Lobo.
Yeah, he's a cool looking character. He's a cool guy.
Cool. It kind of reminds me of Aquaman.
Jason Momoa could easily played him, yeah, or The Rock could have played him, something like that, or Kevin James.
You know what? That's who Michael Bay will get The Rock to play Lobo.
The Rock's already a DC villain.
What?
Yeah. Do you know the superhero named Shazam?
Yeah.
The small boy that can...
Yeah,
he's playing
Shazam.
his villain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
He got cast in that role like 5 years ago. They still haven't made the movie.
What?
Yeah, that's why it's not news to you, because this happened like years ago.
Oh.
It's just classic DC. It's like that all those movies, those Harley Quinn movies are somewhere, and Man of Steel 2 is just somewhere.
Oh, man.
Okay, last thing, Kyle, I'm sorry. I don't know if you have much to add about this, because did I even you saw it, me and Lee were talking about it, but you're bad with actors. Kyle will legitimately know people and know movies they've been in, but with names, he's just awful.
I have to see faces.
Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
How can you spell Joaquin?
Joaquin?
Yeah.
I thought you said walking. Like, I'm walking to work.
What? Joaquin.
Walking. W-A-K-I-N.
No, it's with a J.
Oh, no.
Joaquin Phoenix. Did you watch the movie a few years ago called Her, where it's that guy that falls in love with his cell phone?
Yeah.
It's that guy.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, you can look him up. He's been in more independent stuff. That's where I can talk probably more about it. But yeah, so he's rumored to be playing the Joker in that standalone Joker movie that, which that's I can ask you about after, because you've not given your opinion on that on cast. So first it was Leo, and now it's rumored to be him. I think it's a great choice. I think it's even better than Leo, who I think Leo would be perfect as well. That's the great thing. Unless your name is Jared Leto, there's many great actors out there that can give different new spins on the Joker and feel something unique. And I hope this happens. I don't know if it's going to, but when I saw it, it just looked phenomenal. It looked like he could do something really different with it. And I think he would play a really subtle Joker. I think the Joker does have to be crazy and over the top, but there's Jokers that are subtle and more quiet and to the point, and he could do that. And I'm down for interpretation that doesn't have damage tattoo on his forehead or something like that. I'm down for something different. And when I look at with Leo's Joker, I think I'd be like, oh, he's gonna play a great Joker, but I kind of know what he's gonna do. Mm-hmm. I kind of feel like his Joker is just gonna be similar to Calvin Candy in a way, which wouldn't be bad. Mm-hmm. But with him, I feel like it'd be like a completely something new and something unique. And I don't know if it's gonna happen. It's still just rumored. They're in talks with him right now. I hope it does. I really just want this Joker movie to happen. But I'll throw it to Kyle, because you're not convinced about the whole separate universe Joker movie, separate DC universe and then DC standalone movies that have nothing to do with each other. You're not for that, right?
I'd rather them interconnect, because you want to see cameos of other characters in there as well too. Yeah. And if you do standalone, then you have to basically not recast a bunch of things. Unless Flashpoint.
Well, that's what they should do. They should just do a bunch of standalone movies, these DC movies, and wait to see what works, and then Flashpoint. Because I wanted them to Flashpoint it before, but with Justice League, they tried to change stuff and whatever.
See, that Justice League was the punt. They're going for the 2 points.
Is a punt? Punt is
3? Oh shit.
And that's a field goal. That's not even a punt. A punt is you just kick the ball.
Oh, field goal. They're going. No, they're just trying to get the ball further down.
They're just trying to hike the ball right now. That's all they can do.
Go for the field goal.
They just keep missing that fucking goal. But I'd be very down for it. And the universe thing. I think it also just has to do with, I've said this before, so for new listeners, you can, I don't know, this is what I meant to say the all the way around. For old listeners, I'm sorry I'm repeating this. I think maybe I would have been more opposed to it if I would have really liked Jared Leto's Joker. But at this point, when they're like, hey, we might make a new Joker movie, and it has nothing to do with Suicide Squad, I'm kind of like, like, let's do this.
Forget that.
And like when they're like, oh, the Batman movie might not have anything to do with these movies, and I'm kind of like, like, we don't need Ben Affleck anymore. Like, that,
good.
I think that's why, like, it's that classic, the grass of screener on the other side, right? Where it's like, I'm almost like, because you say this stuff about the cameos and all these characters, but like, you look at BVS and we got those terrible, like, Aquaman cameos, the Cyborg cameos, like, I don't know, I don't want those cameos again, so sometimes...
It's true.
So, I don't know.
New movie, who dis? That's what they should do.
That's gonna be the poster?
Yeah.
Kyle, anything this was a quick dynamic deal. Like I said, there wasn't many news pieces. I'm sick. After this, I'm just gonna go to bed.
Yeah.
Actually, I gotta edit a bunch of stuff, but
I have no new news. I'm excited. I'm excited for Black Panther though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pumped. I can't wait.
You may be joining us on the review.
Maybe joining on the review.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working my way through Infinity War right now.
Oh, the comic.
The comic book.
It's not that long, and I gave it to you months ago, and you keep snapping me like, "Oh, I'm reading this tonight." And sometimes when you sit down with like a beer and the thing, I'm like, "Oh, I expect to be done by tonight," and then like,
"Oh, see, 10 o'clock comes and I'm out. It's time for bed."
Yeah, but enjoying it so far.
Yeah, no, I really like it. So
and that's technically, just so you know, the geeks gonna get on you. It's Infinity Gauntlet. The movie's Infinity War.
Infinity Gauntlet. I definitely knew that.
Yeah,
fuck that one up.
Yep.
I'm sorry, fans.
Yeah, well, please stay tuned to all the content we got coming up. Next week is Marvel Week. I forgot to announce at the top of the show. I'm so fucking mad at myself, which actually, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. It's going to literally splice in right now. This is going to the beginning of the show because it has to be announced. And now, see, we just did a weird end. So I
Look
just...
how the edit went.
What?
So, that's perfect segue.
Oh, yeah. Now we're back to the end of the show. Thank you very much for tuning in to Dynamic Duo. Like we said, we do these here and there, but they're always a good time. So thank you very much, and we will...
See you later. I got it. I was thinking about whipping, but then
and you also almost said catch you on the way.
I know. See you later.
Oh God, let's get out of here.
Word to your mother.